check out life through my world. Last night, I ended up having one of the most profound dreams of my life. The spirit of this jungle presented herself to me. She initiated me into this space. I was integrated into every rock, into every plant, into every living being. To be fully welcomed in was incredibly powerful for me. Welcome to Yala, Kitania style.
Inspiration Week starts today, so all the interns are leaving. Inspiration Week is this week where interns leave the valley. They go around Panama, experience Panamanian culture and see the world. I think it's really important for interns to leave the bubble of Yala and they get to know Panama a little bit better, take some time off, and then come back and get ready to work. I'm heading up to Chicago to do comedy shows. It's what I used to do full-time before I came down here, so it'll be fun to put on that hat again. What are we having for lunch?
Fish.
Ooh, fish. I love fish.
We marinate it with some salt. Yeah. Come on, homie.
Yeah, we gotta get this out of here. We need to get all this into some kind of locked container.
Coffee is such a precious resource out here. Oh yeah, that's some thick mud coffee right there. Oh my God. Wake you right up.
Oh yeah.
There's a wandering spider in here. Big one too. See if I can catch it.
Oh, watch out! That's poisonous.
I can't get it.
That is poisonous.
Can't get it. Let's just roast it.
Do you think we can eat it?
We should.
There's no water.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Tyler got a gift last night of a giant boa snake skin.
It is awesome. The thing's huge. I get a 1x12 and pin it up and let it dry out in the sun with some salt.
After our whole snakes are okay thing.
Well, it ate a chicken.
I wish they didn't kill them. No, you just release them. I'll pay him $5 per boa.
Cool.
You know what kills you is trying to kill the snake. Like 90% of snake bites occur when people try to kill said snake.
Oh. I gotta head down. Hey! Oh my gosh, that is awesome. What is dope? Yeah. You haven't left the valley at all?
I haven't left since I've been here.
Oh my God.
I never want to leave. It's actually going to be really exciting. I'm going to go with Ryan and Jessica for the Black Christ Festival.
How have I not met this person?
Yeah, have we not hung out
Jesus
more?
Christ. Like, I feel like I'm looking at a mirror.
We're doing BOQUETE for Inspiration Week, and then maybe Bocas.
For Inspiration Week, interns travel all over Panama. A lot of them just take it easy. Some are going to resorts. A lot of the interns travel on the night bus. Places like BOQUETE, a really beautiful, quiet mountain town, some like the world's best coffee. They go to Bocas del Toro. Bocas is island party town, tons of beaches, tons of nightclubs. And then there's also interns who, for Inspiration Week, are doing kind of ridiculous, a little bit scary things. Ryan wants to hike through the mildly dangerous coast where there is no path and people don't hike.
This is Philip, he's my pocket buddy. The whole idea behind this journey is to follow this massive pilgrimage of 40,000 people to the city of Portobello for what's known as the Black Christ Festival. I have a brother who passed away 2.5 years ago. So that's his handwritten signature. I put it on my right arm because I'm right-handed, and so like all of my actions are kind of guided by him. And smile for me is just something that he would always say. He was the adrenaline junkie that I just kind of followed. I know that he would have loved this place, and he wouldn't want me to just sit here and mope around. He would want me to dive in headfirst into all of this culture, and I didn't want to just take a bus to Portobello because that's not a pilgrimage, that's no fun. I'm used to living super frugally and in a hammock, but I've never done it on a beach in a country where I don't speak the language.
Okay. There's not like a North Beach.
Whole Caribbean side of Panama?
Yeah.
Beach.
Not really.
A lot of it's beach. Well, it's not great beach.
I would say it's not beach. It's like mostly like cliff.
That was the idea, was to rough it and backpack.
So what's your game plan if that doesn't work? What would you like us to do?
I'll get to the nearest city and catch a bus.
There's no cities.
Not a single city between Bocas and Portobello.
Exactly.
Okay.
Going regardless.
Have an awesome time, you guys.
Roll with the line. Hey, there's balls in the face.
Balls in the face.
I need balls in the face. You gonna make the balls.
Bye later.
Bye.
Esteban, you owe me a ride!
That's not how it works.
We're taking an overnight bus to Boquete.
We lack silence in our relationship. We're both talkers and we talk too much. We need to shut up sometimes.
I don't think that's true at all.
You're a talker.
No. Oh, it's so rancid. Got some fish. We tried to cook it, but it went bad. When that kind of thing happens, we bury it. 3 big containers full of dead fish, who he thinks might actually not be the fish that they ordered, but like shark meat, vomit-inducing, potentially like illegally poached, rotten shark meat.
Hey everyone, about this shark thing, we did not buy shark. That doesn't make sense.
If there's any chance that we're eating shark, we need to cut that out.
Yeah, but you don't know that 100%. I just think that we should know 100%.
That's like if we don't know. If we know that 20%, we shouldn't be eating it.
What happened yesterday, I think I'm 100% sure now. Because usually when fish is going wrong, they don't create that smell of ammonia.
Can't be serving
But shark does.
Sharks are in deep freaking trouble.
Yeah, they're.
And like for the most sustainable town in the world to be eating shark, that's like pretty freaking wrong.
We're not ordering any more fish from San Miguel until we get it
Yeah,
sorted.
Yes, exactly.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It's already been decided.
Okay.
We can get. I know we can get fish from instead of from Panama City, from Chepo or from Pacora.
Or
in Chepo.
we eat all of our own fish from here.
Working on it.
I mean, hello, yes, yeah. Please,
Got it.
make it happen. If you want my love for real, you need to make that shit happen.
Working on it.
You wanna go for a walk? Boss me around. Obviously, I need to pee that bad.
And I really am an introvert who wants to not have to give speeches that make me feel self-important. But if you want to do something great, I think you kind of get stuck being a leader. I think it's kind of hard to do something meaningful without being willing to take on the emotions and responsibilities for others, you know? Pick it up in your plastic bag, tie your plastic bag tight, and throw it away. Right now, the US is a little lost in a lot of ways. No one's got a God to believe in. Nobody's got a nationalist narrative to believe. Nobody's got an economic narrative that they totally believe. And most of Yala is me finding something to believe in, you know? For me, I see it, and I see the vision. And so the fact that it's just an institute and we're camping doesn't ever affect the vision. But a lot of people, they need to see it to believe it. You know, we can't do it fast enough, get the whole thing going, because we've kind of prototyped almost everything at this point in time. And we've seen what it looks like in terms of how Yala affects people. And it's almost unanimously positive once they're done.
It's not a manifesto, it's just an epiphany. Yesterday, Jimmy said, I try not to motivate people through emotion, I motivate them through data. And then I wrote directly to Jimmy. This foundational misunderstanding of the human psyche is what will cause this place to fail. Science says we can do things, but emotions ask if we should.
When I had the conversation with him, with Claire and I, and he was trying to make it seem like I was being egotistical, like I wanted someone to remember me. I'm like, I want someone to like remember that we were here, because I wanted to leave a legacy behind.
As long as people are dissatisfied, it hurts me very much.
I understand what he means though. To him, the picture is so big and the plan is so enormous that I think he sees it as very trivial of like, oh, these interns this semester. And it's just, we're just on two different planets. Like Jimmy is on that planet of like the bigger vision and we're in the everyday shit.
He may be like this little nick on his timeline right here, and so that's how he sees every one of the issues, is just a little bleep on that one nick in his giant timeline, but that one nick is our whole life, and that's just really disheartening. I hope that he proves me wrong. As of right now, I don't know.
Wait, what? Got a student writing, hey Jimmy, story that leads to a question. Leadership sucks.
It's epic here. I could sit here all day.
Taxi, where are you going?
East Peninsula. I'm trying to go as far as possible.
Okay, $200.
$200 straight to...
Here, direct to KUSAPIN, directly.
So the only way I could get to KUSAPIN is by boat. Okay. Well, I don't have $200. So it's $100.
Yeah.
That I could do.
Okay, ready? No.
Ready? Let's go.
All right, Bocas del Toro, it's been real.
What am I doing?
I'll be leaving without you.
What's up? Hey, Papa. How you living?
Driving down the road to California.
Hey, Mama.
I love you. Having fun?
I'm going to go to a religious festival that 40,000 people from around Latin America do pilgrimage to every year.
Inspiration Week, that's right.
Yeah. I'm also working on my resume to stay down here at Yala, that one for the HR position. So it's things like bridging the gap between students and staff.
You'll be spectacular, kid.
Thanks, Mama.
Have a blast.
All right, love you guys.
Love you, honey.
They're so dang cute. They make me so happy. Like my mom, the first night she knew I was at a hostel, I called her and talked to her for a while, and then we hung up, and not 2 minutes later did she call me back, picked up the phone, and she just goes, ha ha, because I can, and then hung up.
This is a type of coffee from the Arabica species. Here we have a perfect red cherry, a perfect coffee bean or coffee seed. And I want to show you how you make really eco-friendly product just out of this pulpa. Take you guys to a place where we have the vermicompost.
Worms.
Consular workers. They basically digest the pulp, process it, and then poop it out. It's fresh, it's unique, really eco-friendly process. It's rich in potassium, magnesium, boron. These elements are really important for the plant.
They're trying to use every part of the bean in the process instead of throwing it out.
Ay, ay, ay.
For us, Inspiration Week is a chance to look at what's happened so far, make any adjustments we need to make.
Little protest. Come on, Bo. Let's go.
And then also get some headspace for the staff, take a deep breath, and get ready for the second half.
So let's get into stuff. It just doesn't seem like this has to be a very long meeting, right?
No, I don't think it will be.
Well, it seems like a pretty short agenda, nothing really major.
I want to start off, I want to review some of the staffing. I know we have almost 10 interns who applied for full-time positions who want to get jobs here. So let's start sorting all this out.
Yeah.
I know Camille B has approached you, Jimmy.
Ever since I got here, a lot of people were coming up to talk to me, even if we didn't really know each other yet. And I often talked to Jimmy or Esteban and tried to find ways to answer their questions. And a lot of people were like, yeah, wow, you should get into counseling. So Inspiration Week for me was like writing up a job proposal, figuring out what it is that they need and how I can fill that.
I said that Kitania was like, I really want to work here. And what I told her is you need to say, this is my salary and I will earn it in this way.
Currently working on my resume to be on staff next semester. That place is so casual and it feels so much like my home to actually be having to put into formal verbiage why I feel like I am basically financially beneficial to that company down the line. It just feels strange to me.
All the jobs at Yala are going to come from people actually creating products and services that the world actually wants and is willing to exchange value with.
You know what everyone else says? I want to stay at Yala because of nature, and I love sleeping in a hammock. And I go, that's not a job. You know, like that's, your pitch is bad.
When you can figure out how to pay yourself, then you can create a job. Otherwise, you're waiting on a job to open and there aren't any openings. Capitalism is where the jobs are going to come from.
Something to look at and explain better in a way, the refund policy.
The two kids who left without talking to anyone last week are threatening to go public about the truth about Yala by talking to the production company if we don't refund them, even though they signed a document stating they weren't entitled to a refund. It's preposterous, the whole concept.
The biggest issue that is coming to my site in Yala is it claims to be a community, but in fact, it's a business. It's run like a business from a top-down hierarchy perspective. If you look back in the contract,
they don't claim anything.
They don't claim any like responsibility, which is really funny to read. I'm like, damn, I signed that too.
Yeah. That's a big deal. That's a lot of money. That's $5 grand, you know? I didn't even hear from Jimmy. This is your thing. This is your thing, and someone's upset about it.
They're children who are signing things without reading them and then making up things in their head based on other things that were convenient to them. And so we need to take care of that as the adults, is what you're saying.
I mean, I worked really hard for that money, you know, and I paid a lot of money to go and expected one thing, and it wasn't what was put up on their website.
I don't feel any sympathy for those kids.
Right, so
go f yourself.
Like if I apply to a university, you know, I get access to alumni who have been there and their opinions about it before I make my decision. And you don't get that with Yala. I mean, negative reviews get deleted offline.
I'm sorry, welcome to the real world.
Dude, but if you're up there during orientation and saying, if you don't like Yala, we're there, we're gonna sit down, we'll fix it.
I don't understand what you're talking about or why we're talking about this. All I know is they're not getting $1 back. Screw them. I think the biggest issue with the Yala Institute is the fact that we're dealing with 18 to 25-year-olds who have never actually been put in a situation where they could fail in their entire life. And I think that's the saddest thing about society.
Plus the fact that they're paying, so they feel as customers, right? And they go, you owe me a legacy here. It's a really interesting thing. I think the greatest thing we can offer is the chance for them to fail.
We're having ethical conversation about the fact that we're at a resort on the beach while we're on a trip for sustainability and trying to build a sustainable town. Feels slightly conflicted. I don't know. We're doing a project on oceanic conservation. You can come from a privileged background, but that doesn't mean that you're just some spoiled rich kid. It doesn't matter if someone has money, it doesn't matter if they don't. It's the fact that they're actually actively doing something to create change that matters.
We're literally competing with a worldview that everyone's being conditioned to, where if you show up, you get a participation trophy, which unfortunately is great right up until you get spit out into the real world, and then you're screwed. Yala can just be a machine that just causes the death of ego. It's a wonderful machine we've built.
Being at Yala, being constantly surrounded by mountains, nature, and incredible people. All I could think about was that my brother, Brandon, he didn't get the ability to live this. And that sucks. I'm having a lot of trouble dealing with grief and with mourning. I'm angry and in pain because it hurts. We're covering so much ground. I honestly didn't expect to get this far. It's only 5 o'clock on the dot, and we've gone 10, 15 miles around that big peninsula. Brandon struggled with paranoid schizophrenia for a while and ended up taking his own life. A lot of people make the argument, like, oh, that's the coward's way out or something like that, but until you've lived for years at a time with screaming voices in your head, you don't know exactly how you would react. Oh, I got so much smoke in my eyes.
Here we go. You put one of these on here. Oh, we've got 2 of these.
Not used to these options. I know, my heart is so happy right now. Oh my God. Let's go in it. It feels amazing. Woke up in the jungle.
I was saying to someone today that I can officially say I've lived in the jungle in a hammock for several months. In a hammock. Oh, bat! It's a bat!
Coming here, my anxiety has been so high. Everything is so exhausting. And why do I feel so comfortable coming to these places or be able to go to a fancy dinner? Why does that make me feel so comfortable?
Because you are used to all these things. And then you go into the jungle and you realize that you don't need any of these things. You don't have to feel necessarily restricted, but you just have to have the ability to choose.
That's a good point. Freedom.
Got as far as I could. As I was setting up camp, a bunch of kids came and started talking to me, trying to talk to me, but I don't speak enough Spanish to really be able to communicate with them. Right after they left, I found out that one of the kids took my hat that had my wallet in it, so I got swindled. This morning I decided, it's probably not the best idea to push forward without anybody knowing where I am, no money in case I get like an emergency. We're about 45 minutes from KUSAPIN. The boat will be there at noon. I'm gonna hop on that. Hope I don't get charged. He's going there anyway. He's already going back to Bocas. Admitting defeat sucked a lot, but you gotta work with the cards you're dealt.
I like that we don't know who we are or that we are at all. Oh, keep it together, just keep it together, don't fall for another man. Oh, keep it together a little while longer until you find an escape plan. Oh, keep it together, just keep it together, not for another man. Oh, keep it together a little while until you find an escape plan. Whoa.
Bocas. We are in Bocas. We're on an island.
We're in the area of
Bocas. This looks like a pirate town.
I was just about to say that.
Dog! I just feel like I never know where I am. Oh, there's Selena's. That's where everybody stays.
Hey! Hello, guys.
7.
Excuse me.
Everybody's here.
Give me a Camille sandwich.
Wait, switch it, switch it, switch it.
So do you know how far the ride is from here to Playa Estrella? It's the Starfish Beach.
I guess the Kalayalan experience is not a cultural immersion experience, and I think that that's an integral aspect of going to another country. Being able to change your perspective is like one of the most incredible ways to be able to grow and learn.
This is the first time I've ever joshed around in the agua with some beautiful Panamanian children.
What does that mean?
Not only is my Spanish bad, but 3-year-old's Spanish is challenging to understand too.
I'm just so ridiculously happy. And like, we just all get to continue to create and to collaborate. And what this small group is going to be able to accomplish is absolutely mind-boggling.
I'm on my way to headline a comedy show, but the Chicago Cubs are in the World Series, so this will be interesting. I grew up in Puerto Rico, and then I moved to Chicago. And I did stand-up comedy for the first time in high school. It was just sort of right place, right time. So I started touring. I was just driving from shitty hotel to shitty hotel to deliver jokes in a cafeteria where there's 8 people and most ignore me. I was so alone, but I was a touring comedian. I was making a living off of comedy. I want to continue growing as a comedian, as a performer.
Let's welcome back to stage for the first time in 10 months, Mr. Esteban Gast!
I'm back, baby. I'm back. Welcome home, baby.
This is amazing. Thank you so much.
I help run this super weird school in Panama. I'm an academic administrator, baby. Yeah, babies. Here's the thing, it's comforting to know that both students and staff at the school that I work at hate me. It's good knowing that that's unified. I just get like yelled at for being reasonable. I'm like a guest on Bill O'Reilly, you know what I mean? I'm just like, I think turning in your syllabus once a week, and everyone's like, that's terrible. It's interesting, it's interesting. So it's an off-the-grid school. Here's what I've learned. People say, hey, millennials, right, entitled, they're not doing good things, but I can tell you that I have seen these incredible young men and women do that. 2-hour hike, 2-hour bus ride, all to buy cheap wine, and then they smuggle it into the school. It's encouraging. Whenever I'm like sitting there and I'm having a bad day, I just think, man, if I could just care 1/10 as much as that girl cared to bring in wine, I would be a better person.
Buenos dias. 3 little boys stole my hat and my wallet with all my stuff in it.
Steal your wallet?
Yep. And my hat.
Oh my God. Sorry, guy.
We've got a ride to Portobello.
So game.
See how things always work out for the best?
They so do.
The reason that people pilgrimage to Portobello is to see this statue of a Black Jesus Christ figure. The myth behind this statue is that it was on a ship of Spanish marauders, and they were docked in Portobello, but every time they tried to leave this port, these massive storms would come in. These sailors decided to blame this Christ statue. So they dumped it off the side of the boat. Portobello used to get raided all the time, and once they drug this Black Christ out of the ocean and put it in a church, their town was now safe, and a lot of people have real beliefs in the healing and miraculous powers of this statue.
It also says that some true devotees will crawl the final mile of their pilgrimage on their hands and knees, seeking blessings at the shrine.
It's a pilgrimage of 40,000 people, and it's Black Christ who's the patron saint of pirates and thieves, and that just sounds so wild.
Wow. I wonder how tired those people are.
They have to be exhausted.
It's interesting. Some people are literally on their hands and knees crawling with hot wax on their back, while some people are partying. People take it very differently.
People are crawling on their hands and knees because, one, they feel as though that they have sinned and done something wrong so badly that they need to atone for it. And by the time that you get to this idol, you will be cleansed of that sin and the weight that you carry because of it. While on the other hand, you can seek out blessings and miracles by going through the pilgrimage. It's gonna get real. 8 o'clock is when it's all gonna go crazy.
So we emailed our director saying we won't be in the valley until like Tuesday morning.
So we were supposed to be back yesterday at 9 a.m.
And we get an email this morning saying, with the title, "You Blew It," from Alice. And this time you're obscenely late. The fact that you're not in transit right now is mind-boggling to me. So you're better than this, Victoria. I don't want to hear a single complaint about the extended repercussions of your actions and attitude. Staff is talking about kicking you and Melanie out of the program. If you're not back in the valley by 9 a.m. tomorrow, I would consider that a very real possibility.
There is no grounds for dismissal, but again, I'm not Yala. I'm just the guy who paid $5,000 to be here.
They fed a shark and then they made the agriculture students bury the shark.
Shark was bad, it releases ammonia, so it smelled just like pure ammonia. And they're like, oh, we bought shark.
We're doing a project on ocean conservation and sharks.
Sharks are poison endangered, like species here in Panama, which makes it all the worse.
In the past, there has been a process of shaming people who are counter to the ideology of Yala as an organization.
So we're being targeted, but it's like, where is the line of equality or any type of justice? Is it because we're such a threat to them? Is it because we're not drinking the Kool-Aid? Before they kick me out, I will voluntarily pack my things and leave.
I'm game to take these down.
I believe they're going to make an example of us, and I think it's really important that I go back to record the reality of what that looks like.
Guys, I want you to know that if I'm gone, I will be in the city doing research, getting in contact with past students, doing anything I can to help you guys because we need someone in the city. I'm over it. I'm over being used. I don't want to just sit back and watch an organization like Yala take advantage of these students and strip them of their money, their knowledge, and everything they have. I won't let that happen.
Yeah, we can. Okay, I was about to say, I can't tell if he's like praying or if he's literally in physical pain.
Yeah.
I'm just like, brother, I want you to get there so bad.
I'm grateful for the depth of relationships that I've been able to develop.
I'm grateful that even when things look as bleak as possible, if you allow yourself the love of the community as a whole to come in, and you allow yourself to be vulnerable, then you can be comfortable in grief.
Cantemos en gloria a Dios Padre, Hijo y Espíritu Santo, Dios único y verdadero, Trinidad Santa, único Señor.
It's not your fault. And being angry at somebody for passing away doesn't do anybody any good.
Dude, what the hell?
Nobody's here. It's probably a big group.
Has to be. It just has to be like a zombie horde of people that are just almost dead from traveling all week. And...
Very weird. It's crazy.
I'm so happy to be home.
We've still got about an hour of sunlight, but we don't know where everybody else is. I have faith. They're a smart bunch of kids.
Is it illegal to advertise to come down to help build the world's most sustainable modern town?
False advertisement. You're not a sustainable town. You're not planning to be sustainable, in my opinion.
I was the first bio student to submit a budget. I just got an email. They told me it wasn't coming. My budget for my project was $200, and then they didn't even order it. I'm gonna go back, hike in, and get my shit, and then leave.
I, as much as you, want to go back to that jungle and pack my shit up, and I'm having a really hard internal struggle with what I'm actually going to do.
The things with regards to like feeding a shark, I'm livid about that.
The cat was let out of the bag that we got fed shark, or they did not know and couldn't identify what it was.
For the most sustainable town, and you don't even know where you're getting your seafood from.
So if you're a sustainable town, that means you did intensive ecological surveys of this entire valley before you got here. You did intensive water analysis and treatment analysis of all the river so that you actually know if we're affecting the status quo of the valley. So I'm like, where's all that info?
Giving my everything to this place that I'm not getting anything in return is like f***ing with my head.
I think Jimmy Stice and all of Stice development are exploiting students at Yala. I think they are using Yala as a guise to obtain power, land, and money in Panama. And I think they're going to be exploiting the Panama people. They're going to be pushing, displacing locals out so they can have people move down here to a beautiful place. I also believe that they are using Yala to evade taxes and launder money. That is my opinion on all of it.
Even if a fraction of what we say is true, it's so f***ed up and heartbreaking. It's literally draining my light that I have inside of me.
Oh my God, ice?
We got lots of meetings.
Grab some more pallets for
Salud. I'm going to go check in on the town design.
7 years of drafting classes and a degree later.
You tried to walk the coast and were promptly robbed?
Yep.
Right?
That's by a bunch of 10-year-olds.
It's definitely the most insane trip ever attempted by a Kalyan so far, I'd say. It's pretty awesome.
I don't want to say that I'm Jimmy's favorite, but I'm definitely the top 3. It's this whole, come follow me to the jungle and let's make beautiful things happen. I'm like, yeah, let's go.
Let's rock and roll, y'all. Everyone can catch up when they get here, right? We're at the halfway point here. If you're upset with being here, if you're doubting your project, me, the organization, that's totally normal. What sucks is if we don't like try to figure out how to resolve bad feelings, you know what I mean?
Jimmy's a hard person to work with, but I admire his vision so much, and I admire what he's trying to do, and I want to contribute. When I hear interns complain about where the money goes and explain their fears of this being a scheme, I totally understand their fear because I was there just a few weeks ago. But with my time here, it just doesn't make sense. So I think I can really help cultivating more transparency at Yala.
So, propose.
So I wrote this thing up for Esteban.
You have experience, Camille. I was gonna come talk to you this week to start looking into what the possibilities were.
What is the gap that you need to be filled that I have the skills to fill?
I've enjoyed the fact that you're really resolution focused.
Cool.
Yeah, so I'm looking for the spot, and the question just is, does it exist? You have a level of self-awareness to where you're able to take a negative feeling and go like, where's it coming from, and how could it be corrected?
Yes, but I like doing that for other people as well.
But be careful with that.
I know.
The whole world will eat you alive.
I'm scared to go back there because of my own mental sanity, basically.
That's where I'm at.
My mental stability back there. I went to places that I haven't been in years. I'm not even kidding. Like, I don't want to go back.
When I really see that we're not doing that we're not a sustainable modern town, I'm out.
It looks like some people didn't come back from Inspiration Week. This is it.
It may be a little selfish, but sometimes you need to be a little selfish. I'm 20, I'm crazy, I want to go live in the jungle.
Potential lawsuits, death threats, the fact that we had to bury shark meat.
What the f are you guys gonna do when you have jobs?
I'm not gonna sit here and let them talk to me like that.